Hello again. I said I'd do a second video. This is me doing a second video, and I've got some things to sort on the site. After I did the all the commits and the pull requests and everything like that, I missed one thing, and if you can work it out, then awesome. But I only realised after I'd done it that we've got an issue with this live site. Now, those changes I made did work. They did go up, as we could see. This works fine. This page is absolutely fine. But pages like readme.md, they 404. They don't exist. And that's a good thing. We don't want those files appearing. But there was one file I missed, and it was bower.json. And that appears. So that is live on there. We can easily resolve this. Just want to say if you can hear any whistling or blowing in the background, it's the wind outside. It's quite blustery in Bristol at the minute. Anyway, we're going to create an issue. And we're going to call it a Bower file appearing on live site. Bower.json file is being processed by Jekyll and is appearing at this URL. And I'm going to assign this to myself, and it's a bug. Yep, this is the first bug. Awesome. I like this. This is like a clean cut bug. We can fix this, and then we can show this is like to the book, and it's #7. Right, so #7. So we know how to fix this. We need to ignore this in our configuration file. So let's get this open up in Coda. So we'll have that open here. And we are going to open up config.yaml. And we should add to the list, we should add bower.json. And we should also add Bower components, because that will probably be a live directory. So Bower components. Maybe because it's like let's see this HTML5 shiv slash what was the file? Oh yeah, bower. Let's do bower.json again. That'll be their Bower file for it. Oh, okay then. Bower components. Oh well, yeah, because Bower components hasn't been pushed to the live repo, it's not going to process it because it's not there. These files like are relative to local development, not live development. So Node and Bower are ones that are being hidden locally. So let's do them in an order like that. Yeah, so that looks tidy. Can we do comments in this? Yes, we can. Hopefully this will work. We'll locally test it and then see if this works. So I'm going to put some comments in it. So you just do #space, and the comment is package. Let's do package manager files, and then have another one called package manager directories, and we shall move node modules into here and move Bower .json into there, and we shall move this to here and probably do this. Repo files. Okay, well, that's very tidy. Happy with that. Right, we're going to try this. We're going to do Jekyll serve. See how that runs. And then we go to localhost 4000. Great. So now what we shouldn't be able to do is go to bower.json. Not found. Great. And we'll also check the site directory here. And it's just the index file. So that's a good sign. And that is the actual time now. So that is 18 minutes past 11. Yep, that is exactly right. Okay, great. I've got episode 3 like uploading as we speak at the same time. I hope this works, because this might be a bit of a waste if not. How long are we in? 6 minutes. Okay, a bit more smooth now, probably a bit more, because we did the previous video. Let's cancel this. We'll do git status, and the only thing that's changed is the config file. And in the previous video, I remember mentioning this, where we could do fixes and the issue number. We'll be able to do this really nicely now. So we can do git commit the config file, and the message will be adds Bower files to list of excluded files from Jekyll fixes #7. Yep. So that should close it. In fact, the line isn't very nice there. Let's do that. So that's going to fix 7. So we commit that, and then we do git push. See, there you go. Live update. It's closed the issue. It's fixed it. So now we'll be able to merge that into the live branch, GitHub pages, and those Bower files will not be there anymore. Awesome, effective. I'm tempted to push that into the live one immediately, but it would be nice to do something else in this video, something a bit more interesting. Let's go back here. Let's go back to our issues. We've got these bigger issues we have here. Initiate package managers. We've done all these except for a gulp dependency. Jekyll startup. We've got a Bower dependency in there. We're not using it yet because we haven't done any front end stuff yet. That's fine. Let's edit this. Let's add to it. You see that? Look, you got if you put a cross in it, it ticks it off. So if I was to put a cross in here, and then update the comment, it's resolved, and then I can untick it, and then edit again, and it flips back again. Very clever indeed. I'm going to change this. I'm going to give myself an idea, and that idea is to create first template file for Jekyll. In fact, let's call it create first Jekyll template. So we're going to create a template file for Jekyll to use, and Jekyll will use that um, to create a page. There we go, got it in the end. Create a page. It will use it as a template, just like a template in a lot of CMSs. I'll use WordPress again. It's the most common one to think of. But imagine a page or a post.php. Is it page and post? I can't remember. It's been so long ago. Well, yeah, those template files, and you have a head, you have get header, get footer, and then you would have the loop, wouldn't you? Well, it's even simpler in Jekyll, which is so much better. So there's no necessity for a loop. There are just places where you inject stuff. It just goes, I want this here and I want that there, and I put this thing here and I say what I want it to be. And the templating language it uses is Liquid, which is the same language that Shopify uses. Very nice, very elegant and simple. And part of it that I've noticed that I have learnt from it is that if you're wanting to do something complicated and you're finding it very complicated to do in a templating engine, the template engine probably shouldn't be doing that, and you're pushing it too hard. If you, it's like I'm like sure developers have thought about this. If they thought, hang on, if we're trying to make this do this, trying to make this so hard for ourselves by forcing one language to do something that another language should be doing, you think, well, let's start from the beginning and let's think about a better way of approaching this, because this is not natural and it doesn't seem right. You might get there and actually do it, but it's just like, oh my god, it's not the right thing for the job. And templating languages, I can see why they are simple, not only for people to easily write stuff, but to also limit people on doing complex calculations and complex stuff in there. You're just like, can you just you got to think about it simpler in more than one sense. Anyway, let's just stop. I'll just have a drink. Okay. So we need to create a template file, and we do that with with a folder with an underscore, so it gets ignored, but it still gets used by Jekyll. And we can create a new folder and call that layouts. So these will be layout files. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this index file into layouts. So that lives in layouts. Now, it's a layout. It's got content in it, but we're going to take that content out. Actually, sorry. We need to move that back there, because that's the process one. We want this one, which is our index file, and we're going to have this in here. Right. Okay. Open this up. Whoops. We don't want to open it up in there. We want to open it up in here. So layouts. We need to sort that out. Need to stop this DS store rubbish getting in here. Luckily Get's ignoring it. Need to find the command to get rid of that damn thing. We shall come back to that. It's not disrupting our development workflow right now. We can press on. Okay, so this is our regular HTML file. We've only got 2 posts in a minute. I will be adding 3 and concurrently 4, which is what this episode is, to this page. But these aren't going to live in here. They are going to live in another file. So let's comment this out. Let's comment the whole block out, so that won't be visible. And instead of the content, we're going to do double brackets, content. That's it. uh, Using double curly brackets in liquid terms is when you want to inject a piece of content into there. And this could be called something else. In the previous episode, I used the example of Twitter or a Twitter handle or a Twitter username for other people. So you could do that. You could do Twitter username, and it will pick your Twitter username from your configuration file. Or in this case, it's content, and that content is a preset variable that Jekyll uses, and that is the actual content of that page. So this index file is going to be used as a template file, and the content will be the bit where it just injects the content directly, and that commented out stuff is going to be our content. So we need to save this file. We also need to rename it to something that's a better logic, and we're going to call this default. This is a common term that's used in or a common file name that's used in a lot of CMSs. A lot of the time, pretty much all like Jekyll templates or themes, I should say, use the default file to fall back upon for any pages that want to use this. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a page, and we're gonna use that default as the template. So now we need to create a file in here, and it needs to be the index file because it's going to be the home page, and we're going to call it. Oh dear, I was going to put it in there, but we're going to call it index.md, and we need to put that in the root, and we'll open it up, and in Jekyll, it uses YAML a lot. It uses that YAML. We're using YAML for the configuration file, as you see there. It's just how it reads data. It's a nice way of allowing you to put data in for all sorts of things, and you can pretty much do it in any file within a Jekyll site or within your Jekyll pre-processed files, shall we say. And we can do this in this index file. So if we do 3 dashes and another 3 dashes, and this is going to wrap a piece of YAML at the top of our markdown file, and in Jekyll terms that is called front matter. It's on the documentation. I'm just going to check why it's called front matter. Seems like quite a almost explanatory term. There is a section called front matter, I think, in here. There it is, your content. The front matter is where Jekyll starts to get really cool. Hell yeah. Any file that contains a YAML front matter block will be processed by Jekyll as a special file. The front matter must be the first thing that the file in the file, and must take the form of valid YAML to set between triple dashed lines. Here's a basic example. Okay, so it does more than just allow you to put settings into the page. It tells Jekyll, this is a file I want you to do something with, and that's probably I was going to say that's probably why it doesn't process the README file, but it does, doesn't it? It just did it. I guess this has special properties when you put these triple dashes twice. So yeah, here's an excellent thing we've got here. We've got 2 variables basically. We've got our layout post and then our title, and that's the title of the page. We're going to do something similar. Let me slide this over to the left and slide this to the right. But instead of post, we're going to use layout, and it's going to be default because we've made the default file. And we'll do a title, but we're not using that yet. Well, we can. We can in our index file, in our default file. So we'll put one in. We'll call it Bread.li. Oh, it's everywhere, that name. We'll have to put better titles for all the pages when we get to them. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to put test. This is our content. This is our content of our page, and it's just test. Put an extra return in there. And we don't need our config file to look at anymore, but we do need our layouts folder with the default in here. And okay, so we've got our content in here. We've got default going on. I'm guessing that's all we have. Let's see what happens when we run this locally. I am going to do this time around. I'm going to do Jekyll, serve, and then watch. So that means it's going to keep watching the directory, and then anytime I save anything, it's going to change. It's going to automatically update. Thinking time. Can I get it done? Yes. Test. Okay. Now, we assume this is using our template file, and it is. We've got a commented out code there. We need to move that into our content, and yeah, it's put it all in a normal standard page. So yeah, so now what we can do is we can move that content over. So let's take this out of here, leave that there, and paste this into here. And we've got a H1, and because this is a markdown file, we can just write regular markdown. So a hash is for a H1, and we've got Bread.li says hello world. So this, probably should think of a better title for that. And then we're going to have a H2 that's represented by 2 hashes and a space. And we've got baking Bread.li hash 2. And then we've got baking Bread.li hash 1. And then we've got these iframes, and you're thinking, oh, this is a markdown file. We can't have HTML in here. Yes, you can. It just processes it like normal HTML. That's the great thing. So anything you get that's complex and you can't do it in markdown, you just switch to HTML. You can't, as far as I'm aware, I don't think you can put you can't put a div and then, so you can't do like div and then div around that, because you're switching between them when really you want to have a block of HTML and then switch back to markdown. You can't like wrap stuff in it and expect it to process this one way and then this another way, because it's switching it inside the wrapper. It's getting quite complex, and markdown's supposed to be simple. That's why it was created, to be a simple version of HTML. So we don't want to complicate things. Right, well, that's everything. We need to get rid of that. I might also put extra placeholders for our next episodes. So we want Bread.li hash 3, and then this one that we're doing now. So Bread.li hash 4, and we'll put to be up. uploaded. And then same again, to be uploaded. And we're going to save that. And then if we switch over to terminal, we'll notice that it's regenerating files. It's regenerating one file, and that one file is the file that I'm working in. So it's processing them every time. That's what that -- watch is doing. That's what this piece is doing. It's checking the files every time I save it, and then rebuilding the site using Jekyll. So if we refresh, here we go. And yeah, there's our YouTube videos as well. So we're no different at the minute. We've lost some HTML, the header and the container that we had before, but we'll be able to put these back in using stuff like this, like these template files. I'll just check time. 26 minutes, great. This is cool. This is fun. This is a fun episode, I think. Well, I'm enjoying it anyway. So what we can do now is we can have a bit of fun here, and we can copy this file. Do you know, that's interesting that it's already putting Bread.li up here. Oh yeah, look, it's doing this. It's using this one. So if I put test in here, it's going to change it to test. Yeah. Duh. So what we need to do is we need to change it to title. So it's going to use the title from that front matter file. Oh. Ah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's forced me to explain when it gets a little bit more complex. When I say complex, it's really not that complex. Content is a top level variable, as in that is something that would probably be set in the config. So it's at the top level, so it's like a top level variable. Whereas this title is being taken from a file within your Jekyll project. So what it really is page.title. So it's a page, it's a title within the page, within a page file. So it's drilling into your variables. So think of the page as the variable, and then the title is a attribute of a page, and then there'll be a variable to that. So if we save this and then refresh, changes to Bread.li. There we go, in there. I've just realized how tiny that must be to you guys. So I'm looking at the title and I can see it fine, but you guys can't. Yeah, so brilliant. There's stuff happening on the page. We've got site being processed using Jekyll in its most basic form, and it works. Great. It works. We've got a site running. We've got the bare bones of what a CMS is kind of doing. This is like the core principle of what a CMS is. You have a piece of content, and then it just puts it into a page, and then that page can be shown on the internet. That's it. And you can edit it and change it and save it. Yeah, so we're done. I mean, one thing I am going to do is change this size. Great. Much better. Okay, so these are going to be uploaded. How's Bread.li doing? How's Bread.li number 3? So that's 46 minutes. This is actual processing, not uploading. Yeah, it takes a long time. Let's get this fired up onto the live site, and we can reference this this new thing here. So, okay, let's cancel that. Let's do git status. Let's check what we've changed. We've deleted our index file, so what we need to do is we need to do git add and then index.html, I guess. Replaces, no, removes regular HTML file. And we don't do git add, do we? We do git commit, because it already exists. Delete mode. Got it. Git status. So let's do git add layouts, and then we do tab again because the only file in there is default. Git add that, and then git commit, and then our message is creates first template file. And then we'll do hash, and we'll do hash 4. So we'll be referencing this in this commit because item number 3 is create first Jekyll template. So that is our first Jekyll template, default.html. Great. So then we need to do git add index.md, and no, not the message yet. We'll do git add, then git commit creates markdown file for index page. And there we go. So now what we need to do is git push. Now let's just think if we've missed anything out. I don't think we have. We've done our template file. How are we doing for time? 32 minutes. Nice. Nice amount of time. Be a lot quicker to do than the other one. We've got one file being processed by Jekyll, so that is the only file that will exist. And it is just loading. Come on. This preview thing is just rubbish. It must be using the Safari engine. No, not bothering with you. But yeah, you can see it in there. It's the file. We've got our Bower components. Got the Bower file, CNAME record license. La 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 la. Great. Let's do git push. Git push. I was hoping this might auto update, but it did not. We reference this issue in this commit. Good stuff. So now let's switch over to GitHub and do a new pull request. Let's tick that off. So we've completed this, and we can actually close this. We can actually close this issue. But we need to do a pull request to confirm that. So new pull request. Our base is GitHub Pages because that's our live site. And let's have a look at the changes here. So we cleaned up our configuration file. We created a new template file, default.html. We deleted our old static index file. And we created our first markdown file, and that's containing all our episodes at the minute that I've managed to upload. I'm saying our a lot, like as if it's like a team thing, but I guess if you're watching this, then you're in some way helping me in a little kind of way. I don't know. We're kind of sharing this, I guess. Create pull request. Sets up Jekyll. That's it. So we excluded Bower from Jekyll processing. We created template file for Jekyll, converted our homepage file from HTML to MD. Cool. Resolves issue number 4. It was number 4, wasn't it? Jekyll startup number 4. Great. Create pull request. Cool. Put this in as development. We can put this in development, and we can also put this under bug. No, because we've got that issue under the bug. This is development. This is what development for. That bug was referenced in a different issue, so it's been tracked in a different way. We don't want to be using it like tags. We want to be using it as like categories, so issues are filed into one location. I'm guessing if I click through on here, it should be referenced. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. It looks like I know what I'm doing. It's like I've got a pull request here, an issue, a commit here, and then another pull request here. Great. So merge pull request. Confirm. Done. So now when we go to Bread.li, there we are, to be uploaded. Brilliant. It's incredibly quick now. It's so quick. I mean, the longest time it's going to take is like 10 to 15 minutes to update. And to be honest, I could hold on to that. If I was doing a blog post and it took 10 to 15 minutes to change, I could deal with that. So yeah. So what I'll probably do is, what are we doing for time? 37 minutes. Oh Christ, we're getting on a bit. So I will work out what to do for the next video. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll probably start getting some template files going on. Maybe get gulp in there. Maybe we should get a gulp task running so we can do something with that HTML5 shiv instead of it just sitting in the Bower components folder. We need to actually implement it, and we'll probably create a JavaScript directory so we can put it in there, and then the site will be using that, and that will be a nice simple way of testing whether JavaScript is actually being used on the page. But great. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.